So this might be a bit of a more rambly video, but I basically just wanted to talk about this place, the abandoned train tracks, and what it means to me. Just in terms of somewhere quiet that I can go, somewhere that's totally peaceful, that's virtually devoid of people. I would say, other than very recently, I was going to discuss, as you can see, even just kind of walking in here, there's some work that's been done. All of this was kind of fully wooded to the point where it was quite difficult to get in, whether it's now. And I mean, I'm not necessarily complaining about it, sure, I kind of perceive this as my kind of space, my kind of private space, but naturally I don't exactly own it. But as I was saying, I've came to this spot for years and years and years. Yeah, I think I'd easily say over half a decade, probably about 7.5 years roughly. All of this was also, I mean, you can still see some of it down there, but that was like a complete wood, like a proper little wood. It was really kind of thick, difficult to get through. Bigger trees like those ones. As I said, I've been coming here for quite a few years. I'd say 8 at the most, 6 at the least, probably roughly around 7. Leaning a bit more towards 8, but not quite. And I think for the entire time that I've been here, other than me, my family, a few friends I've brought up, just kind of when I've decided to come here myself, it's always been completely silent, other than probably 3, maybe 4 times. I've very, very kind of occasionally seen someone else walking down the tracks, or I remember there was once someone down at the bridge, but again, I've been coming here at least semi-regularly for about 7 years, and it's just completely silent, other than those very odd occasions. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, just kind of the idea of quieter spaces, kind of private little spots, secret areas, little dens, whatever you want to call it. I don't know if there's anyone still in here, but this was also, there was kind of holes here, there was some like empty tracks. It was very uneven, but obviously as you can see now, there's been some work done on it. I'm sure that these little kind of hut caravan things are temporary. Well, as you can see, just kind of looks like the leaf flattening out the ground. I mean, it's amazing to see how big the space actually is. It looks simultaneously smaller, but also significantly larger than it was. Just in terms of ground space and kind of how far it extends back. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit again, as I was saying. I do think that places like this are important, and that virtually everyone should have one. Of course, it doesn't necessarily have to look like this. It could be kind of like a proper wood or forest. It could be an abandoned building. Yeah, it seems like there are still some people here. Kind of lights on. I thought, well, that's quite interesting. I've not seen that yet, just in terms of little lights. I mean, again, you can see that there's been some significant work done here, and it's really shocking that, again, all of this was kind of closed off. That was like highly fenced off with like a 20-foot fence. All of that was a lot more wooded. The wood kind of extended back quite a bit. Now, as you can see, it's just kind of concrete. Again, I do think it's important to have a kind of space like this, whether it be a kind of a wood, an abandoned building, an abandoned train track, maybe even kind of a quiet field. There's like there's an old kind of dock or graving yard down in Govan, and it's completely abandoned. I think that sees people more frequently just because it's in a more kind of highly populated area. It's more kind of obvious as you're passing it whether this is. If you don't know about this area, you don't know about it. You have to kind of come well out of the suburbs, come well away from any shops, get into that area which is just completely warehouses and kind of factories, which is why it is so quiet. It's well a bit out of the way if anything, but at the same time it's very close to everything, which makes it so ideal. I mean, just as you're leaving, there's shops about 5-10 minutes away, and yet at the same time you could live 5-10 minutes away from it for 10 years and not know about the place, as very evidently most people don't. Anyway, I'm worth just how badly I'm rambling right now. Okay, that is quite interesting. Are those thicker holes in the fence? No, it's just kind of darkened. And I'm kind of rambling a bit and going off because it seems like every time I come down this area, even if I just leave it for a week, there's so much change in terms of, again, all of that was kind of properly big trees. The bushes were a lot bigger, and what hasn't been completely flattened seems nonetheless. Again, you can kind of see where these kind of decimated. And look at them. And as I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not complaining too much in terms of, I don't think I'm entitled to this place. It's just, it happens to be somewhere that I found. It happened to be extremely quiet, extremely out of the way of things, but nonetheless, it does kind of feel like it's been violated in a sense. And just because, again, out of anywhere in the city, anywhere, if you want to get that pretentious anywhere in the world, this is my kind of spot. This is where I've done a lot of my videos. I go here to kind of think, just to walk. You know, when I'm here, there's a sense of complete privacy, despite it being kind of fully open, anyone can walk in. Again, at most, I've been coming to this place more years than I've seen people here. Again, just put it that way. Other than in the past 2 weeks, minus the past 2 weeks obviously. With everything that's been done, there's quite a few more people. Again, look at this. This area was, so looking up to it. I mean, I've done videos of this before. If you've watched some of the videos of the bridge, if me kind of walk into it, come back from it, you remember I have to be very careful with what I kind of slip in this. That's not too bad. I mean, you can kind of see the bridge in the background now. In that whole area of what's currently just mud, this was just completely trees. It was a kind of massive forest, would probably be the word, but I mean, all of this was kind of trees from as far as I could see. There was little kind of hills, little kind of gullies. There was little rivers, little ponds. And it was kind of amazingly unlittered. Again, just trees, bushes. Occasionally you'd see deer. Just a normal little forest in the middle of the city, and unfortunately now it's kind of been replaced by dirt. And I mean, just getting into this place used to be a chore. It's, despite its small size, and you can kind of see how small it is in retrospect, it was very easy to get lost in this little forest. Like when I first started coming down here, it could take me up to 20 minutes just to get down there. having to kind of weave round rivers, weave round ponds, occasionally falling in the river, kind of getting completely soaked. Some ground that was tougher, some ground that wasn't, going over little hills, jagged nettles, bushes, all sorts of strange plants. And now unfortunately it's just kind of gravel, it's kind of mud. And I do wonder what they're building here. I mean, I suppose it could be warehouses, but it just, the idea of it seems so weird. Then again, as you can see, there's factories on this side. I don't see why there could be on that side, even despite the fact that the kind of bridge is there. You could just close it off a bit. I mean, look at this. This was, you can see kind of some of the debris here. This was all fully wooded as well. I mean, it's just interesting to kind of walk down and look. I also wish I'd done this a little earlier, but so be it. If you're watching the video, you can't see perfectly, but I can see everything. I mean, the other strange thing is that I don't really want to explore it too much, to be honest, because I mean, standing here, you kind of feel like you've seen it all. And as ridiculous as it is, it does make me kind of nostalgic for that little forest again. I'm just thinking at some point that this whole area was completely abandoned, that it was again my little area. I don't want to get too sentimental about it, but again, just a kind of sense of privacy that this place evokes, just again being able to walk down it, talk to myself as I am now, with not even a second thought that I might be seen or that anyone might be here to disturb me. And I mean, as you can see, well, you can't because it's dark, but this is kind of where the destruction ends. This is just all trees, the little forests and whatnot start back here. And it's a really lovely area, especially at kind of different times of year, when there's snow, or in contrast to that, when it's kind of summer, when it's spring, when it's nice and hot, when the sun's out practically all day and half the night. Again, just being able to walk down it, no rain, no cold, no one here. There's no dampness, so everything's completely dry. This is dry. The grass, the twigs. Being able to just kind of sit down in it for, I mean, hours if you'd like, without the faintest thought that you'd come across anyone. It's just a really lovely thing, and again, as I says, I think everyone should ideally have something like this. Of course, you should have your own house as that, your own kind of room, your own space in there, but as important as it is to have your own kind of private space indoors in a building, again, like your house, your own kind of private, quiet place, as important as that is, it's also lovely to have something equally quiet, equally peaceful, equally kind of safe and secure that's outside, that you can just walk down without a fear or a worry. Anyway, with that, I think I'll just end the video because I'm rambling a bit, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of do a little video on the place, kind of highlight its loveliness, the unfortunate destruction that's been wrought to it. Because again, I mean, there's a reason that virtually all of my videos have been done here. My first video was done here, and I wouldn't be surprised that if the last one was done here similarly. This is simply where I'm comfortable.